To make money, you have to invest money. But exactly how much do you invest? Yo, what's up everyone? Shri Kanase here and welcome to another Shopify video. We're going to be discussing exactly how much money you need with Shopify right now with the state of dropshipping currently and how much competition there is going on right now. And a lot of things have changed over the past couple months, especially the entire year. Stuff that used to work in the beginning does not work anymore, and things like the budget have changed tremendously as well. So what I'm trying to say is the budget that would have worked really well in the beginning of this year simply is not sufficient anymore right now. And we're gonna dive in depth with that topic in this video, so make sure to watch until the end. And don't forget to leave a like down below if you're finding any type of value in the videos that I provide. It really motivates me to put out even more videos just like these ones. And do me a favor, pause this video really quick and smash that subscribe button down below if you haven't already joined the family. We're growing super fast. A lot of e-com entrepreneurs already joined that subscriber list. Also my Facebook group, the link is in the description. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so there are a couple of things that we're gonna really cover in this video, kind of going directly from Shopify into general life stuff, which we'll cover at the end. But let's start with the basics. If you're someone who's interested in doing Shopify and are unsure of really how much budget you need to save up in order to invest, because in the end, this is an investment game. Some people are surprised when I tell them that you have to invest money in order to make money. They're like, what? I thought dropshipping was get rich overnight. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. I would have actually agreed that dropshipping is super easy to make money in the past, but right now, it requires tremendous amount of work, effort, and persistence because so many things have changed. But let's start with the basic expense that comes with any person that wants to open a Shopify store. And that expense is the Shopify Basic Plan. So the Shopify Basic Plan, if that is the one that you start out with, is $29 per month. And the trial period, depending on whose link you use, but the trial period link that I have in the description below is for 14 days. And in these 14 days, you get to basically design your entire store and make it to your liking. But after that, in order to really find success, you're gonna have to get the basic plan and get a domain. And let me also go ahead and write the domain expense over here because I forgot to mention that. The Google Docs, so domain, and for this one, we're gonna say about $10 per month. But the Shopify Basic Plan starts at $29 per month. So you're gonna have to have at least $30 to invest right from the get-go. But that is only an investment for the basic plan itself. That is not including any of the other stuff that we have to invest in order to get a positive ROI. But moving on from this one into the domain, along with the Shopify Basic Plan expense, we have the domain expense. And usually, depending on where you get the domain, this could range actually from $5 to $10 per month. I like to stick to the Shopify domain which they provided themselves instead of going on external websites like GoDaddy or any of the other ones, because it is really easy to connect the Shopify domain itself to your Shopify website and configure the settings. But so far we have added about $5 to $10 of additional expense on top of the Shopify basic expense. So this puts it total at around $40 per month. So right away, without even having any sort of apps or themes, advertising, etc., you're already looking at around $30 to $40 per month in an expense. So that is something that you need to have as a base expense for your Shopify store. Moving on from these basic expenses, now come the additional expenses, which vary depending on each person. But for applications, generally, the expense ranges from anywhere from $20 to $50 per month. You definitely need applications such as Oberlo for dropshipping, and maybe if you want to add scarcity, some kind of timer application or email marketing applications, SMS marketing application, etc. So all of these expenses, at least the basic ones, for the applications add up to around $20 to $50 per month. I have a video on my channel about the best applications that you should have for your Shopify store if you're just beginning out. The link should have popped up in the top right. Do check that out. It is a list full of affordable applications, some even free, which you definitely need for your Shopify store. But so far, we have around $70 to $100 per month already invested, one in our Shopify basic plan and our domain and our applications now. But we still haven't got to the main meat of our Shopify store, which is the ads. So as you guys can already see, our expenses are adding up, but we haven't even gotten to the advertisements. And if we look back at the earlier portions of this year, these numbers could have been entirely different just because how different dropshipping was. I personally started out with a couple $1,000 which I had earned from dropshipping on eBay, and I personally believe that a lot of my success goes to the amount of budget I started out with. But never let problems with your budget or any other sorts of problems stop you from getting into dropshipping, because once you jump into the business, solutions come up as you go along. So don't worry too much, just jump into the business and start by taking action. But so far we have around $70 to $100 of our money invested into our Shopify store. And now let's move on to the theme. The price for the theme honestly depends per person, because some people like to save money and start out with free themes, which is completely fine by the way, while others directly like to start off more professional and buy a paid theme. Paid themes generally range from $50 to a couple $100. So if you get a free theme, you'll still be at $70 to $100 per month with your Shopify store before taking into account the advertisements. While if you decide to invest in a paid theme, cost for a paid theme is going to be a one-time fee, but that could range again from $50 to a couple $100. Let's say the theme you get is $100. So already you have invested about $200 into your Shopify store without taking into account advertisement expenses. But now that we have had the specific expenses for our base, which is our Shopify website, arranged, let's move on to the main meat of our business, which is advertisements. Now, before I reveal what the number for advertisement should be, let me say that in the beginning, before 2018, this number could have easily been about $100 or even $50, and you would have started seeing results, at least through Instagram influencers, right away. You would have still needed to invest time into getting knowledge and trying to find the best ad copy for your influencer ads, but in general, it was much easier to have a lower budget and still find success with ads. But now it is completely different, and that is why I now recommend that you have at least $300 or more when starting with advertisements for Shopify. So that adds around $400 in total for your Shopify store so far. The main thing that I can recommend for you guys is the more you have for ads, the better you're going to be in this business. You can have less for the Shopify applications or themes or even the domain. You could get a cheap domain, but you should not be cheap when it comes to advertisement, because that is going to guarantee you ROI if you continue striving at it and continue being persistent. There are a lot of free courses out there and free YouTube videos, such as those on my channel, which help you with advertisements. And the biggest investment that you're gonna need to make when it comes to advertisement is not only the money, but also your time. When I first started Shopify, I was easily spending a couple $100 to about $1,000, which is basically what I had earned through eBay dropshipping from the whole year, onto ads. And I was still not finding success, because even though I was investing money, I was not investing time into learning about the business. I'm kind of the person that likes to take action and then learn from my own mistakes. But in order to do that, you really need to have a budget to play around with. Fortunately, I had a budget which I had saved up from eBay dropshipping, and this was the budget I was able to invest into my own dropshipping store, which helped me not only learn a lot about this business, but also helped me get a good return on ad spend. But if you're one of those people who have to support a family or are currently living on your own and have to support your own expenses, this may not always be the best option for you. So that is why I always recommend that you spend more time and invest more of your time into learning about the business before jumping right into it. But along with that, you're gonna need to have some sort of budget in order to invest for your own ads. Anything above $300 right now is sufficient in order to start seeing some kind of results. It may not be profitable results, but you should start seeing some kind of results if you have invested time in learning the ins and outs of the business. If you're spending anything above $1,000 and haven't not gotten a sale or only got one sale, you're doing something wrong, and it is time to either look at a course or get mentoring. And now that is the 6th item on our list, which does not apply to everybody, but it could be a good expense that you add to this list. But let's go ahead and see how much it costs for a mentor. And I have written down if the mentoring or course cost varies. I personally offer mentoring as well, and the cost for my own mentoring depends on where the student is in terms of his or her Shopify career. Are you just starting out with your Shopify career, or are you already established with the website but just having trouble with sales? So these kinds of things really affect the price that people charge you when it comes to mentoring, but generally the price for the courses also depends on the person themselves. There are some courses which cost $1,000 while other courses cost only $50. But you have to be really careful when you're buying courses or even getting mentoring from people, as you're not sure whether the mentor or the owner of the course is profitable himself in the business, or if he or she is just earning money through the courses or mentoring that they sell. So you really want to understand a person and look at the way they teach and look at their videos or their biography before really trusting them with the mentoring, even when it comes to me. If you like my videos or if you agree with a lot of the stuff that I teach, you may be more inclined to get mentoring from me. But if you do not agree with my videos, you may be skeptical. And that skepticism, if that's even a word, is really good for you because you're thinking about the business and you're thinking about the decisions that you need to make, which is gonna help you in the future as well. But so far, we have about $500 invested in our Shopify store in total, including the ads and the mentoring if you do plan to take any. The pricing overall will depend between $400 to $500. But in conclusion, for our Shopify store at least, we need to have at least about $500 or more in our pockets ready to invest into our Shopify store if you want to get anywhere with dropshipping starting from right now. A lot of these things again were different back then, but now the game has changed completely. Every single person is trying to get into dropshipping, and if you really want to make a killing, you're gonna have to invest about $400 to $500 into the business, because like any business, this business also needs an investment. You need to plant seeds in order for the flower to grow big. And if you plant more seeds across a larger area, there are going to be more chances of more flowers growing. But let's go ahead and move on to the life expenses that we also need to think about, because not everybody lives at home with their parents and attends college. So when it comes to life expenses, there are things such as emergency funds, utilities, bills, maybe your college tuition, etc. The reason why I've included this section along with the Shopify section is because you always want to make sure that you have enough for your life expenses before investing in any type of business. Shopify dropshipping business requires a less amount of investment, but it does require an investment. So the number one thing that you can do for yourself in order to any type of major risk against yourself or your family is to separate your life expenses from your Shopify expenses. You need to make sure that you have about 6 months of life expenses in your bank before you think about jumping into Shopify. If you're a young teenager like me, who's just in college, then you don't really have to worry about life expenses. Those expensive clothing or that expensive video game that you want to buy can wait. But when you're much older and have kids to take care of or a family, you gotta really take into consideration these life expenses. But in conclusion, about $500 or more is a sufficient amount of budget that can really get you a boost start with your Shopify dropshipping career and get you some results. But if you found any type of value in my video, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.